So did you actually read the chapter?
Oh, I read the chapter. No, the chapters. But first, before, nigga, let me intro. Damn,
bruh.
Nigga didn't let me intro for shit. He just said, you read the chapter. Like,
did you read the chapter or what?
We have to like sit through big ass accusation.
Did we have?
Did you read the chapter? You do your homework, nigga.
All I'm saying, bro, is there's been podcasts where you were like, oh shit, let me read this real quick.
Hey man,
I didn't read it this week.
Hey man, let me just say, shit gets busy. Anyway. And I'm not allowed to take my phone in. We have a rule at work. I can't take my phone into the bathroom.
It's fine. I'm bringing my laptop to work, so I don't give a fuck.
There you go. Yes, I read the chapter. But I wanted to start with something else, right? And so first off, anybody that's listening, welcome to another episode of A&M. How y'all been? How you doing? How's it going out there? Hope you having some positivity in your life.
All the positivity.
All the positivity, man. No, this is the... And if anyone listened to the last episode of NFM, like I gave it up as far as like the real serious shit going on. I'm not. We just had our own serious discussion. I'm not here to talk serious shit no more. I'm here to discuss anime and manga for the next hour and a half, right? So, by the way, Matt's here. I'm here. Say hello to the people.
Hey guys, welcome back.
There we go. So, we're going to get to One Piece, but first I got to go with here, right? So in the last month, and we haven't really gotten to discuss this because I think it literally got on Netflix maybe a couple days before or after one of our last episodes.
Are we talking Avatar?
We're talking Avatar, but I'm talking a very specific subject here. So first, so you guys rewatched Avatar. We rewatched Airbender, and then Korra we're going to start tomorrow.
You have access to Korra?
I have Avatar and Korra as far as Blu-ray and DVD and shit. Remember you've seen my sketchy Korra case.
Yeah, the guy that like recorded it off his VCR or something, right? Like
it's it's just the quality is perfect. It's just the sketchy ass picture he threw in the fucking
he definitely like gottoed the episode and then made a quick butt.
Yeah, like so anyway. We're gonna restart Korra. Did you guys watch Airbender and Korra? Or you guys
we did. Okay. We did both. I've been trying to get Alex to read the comics since I have like the first 3 of them. First 4 of them, 3 of them. I think 3 of them. And she was like, okay, and then she never did. So She was like, what happened to Zuko's mom? I'm like, well, I got a book for you. I can tell you exactly what happened to Zuko's mom.
I don't know if nobody's gonna read the comics. I'm gonna try. I just can't promise.
You want to borrow it?
We got to get to Korra first. Because I do think, and it's really weird, but I think when you have the context of both worlds, even though, yes, Zuko's mom technically has nothing to do with Korra, I do like the idea of having context of the world in its entirety, then to read them.
I think... If Netflix so my theory is Netflix and Viacom have like this thing going where we'll start seeing more Nickelodeon shows starting to pop up on Netflix. I know Netflix signed a bunch of stuff with getting future Avatar content on there. Part of it's that live action Airbender show. Which I'm like, like
I don't care for live.
But like It all depends. It's made by the creators, so it's not M. Night. You know.
I mean, to be fair, which is a funny topic actually, is because the creators and those guys can do whatever the hell they want. They wrote a fantastic show, but no one can tell me. My conversation today is more so for Aang. We'll get to Korra next week.
Okay.
But no one, in real time, if you're familiar with the situation between what happened between the Avatar writers and Nickelodeon, is Nickelodeon said, yo, dog, we air SpongeBob, Fairly Odd Parents, like kid shit. What the fuck are y'all doing?
SpongeBob is gay.
That's right. What the fuck are y'all doing with this Airbender taking niggas' breaths away and like bitches' heads explode? Like there was clear friction and confrontation, and no one can tell me like the Avatar writers didn't amp up a couple things, so they were like, all right, Nickelodeon, bet, watch us. The whole fucking last season of Korra, or if not the whole last season, the last 10 plus episodes didn't even get to air on Nickelodeon. Like, niggas went straight to online.
I was telling Alex about that. I was like, the reason why season 4, the last arc, doesn't seem complete is because it's not complete. Nickelodeon greenlit this is what I think happened. So Nickelodeon execs went, you want to kill the Earth Queen. And they were like, yeah, I think it would. They were like, yeah, they're terrorists. We need to have them do something terroristy. And they were like, how are you going to kill her? We're going to suffocate the shit out of her. He's going to take her breath away. And they were like, okay. That aired. Viacom calls and goes, what the fuck did you do? We're losing shares. I had one angry mother go, my 7-year-old watched this. Ah! Like, like that. And Nickelodeon went, sorry, master. And then pulled the shit out of it.
Well, that wasn't in the final straw.
Well, the backlash
straw was the Fire Girl. That aired.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They were like, all right. How are we going to kill Plea? And they were like, all right, so we got this idea. We're going to blow her head off. And then Nickelodeon went, okay. And then it aired, and Viacom went, what the fuck? And then they were like, all right, we're done. Fuck you, Korra. And they were like, but we're not done making it. And they're like, we don't give a shit. And that's why Boomy has one line in the last season of Korra. Boomy never got to come in and finish his voice recording. He has one fucking line in the entire season.
Boomy was lit in season 3. And season 3 was what got that shit pulled.
Oh, yeah.
Like, Boomy was lit in season 3.
Season 4 is dope, too, though, because it's all about PTSD and shit.
No, absolutely no. Every season of Avatar, and I even walk back, I've been historically on the side of the first half of the Book of Water is boring as shit. But it's really cool to watch somebody else watch it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are they rewatchable episodes? No, not really. If you know the story of Avatar and you're rewatching it for entertainment purposes, I like the first 2 because that's obviously like Zuko and the Water Tribe. Episodes 3 through 10, I would probably never rewatch for entertainment purposes.
Yeah, I looked at those. Like, there's more filler in season 1, but it's because it's a kid's show. And they really played into Avatar: The Last Airbender being that kid show.
And then Jet got
it doesn't take away from it. Like, honestly, rewatching it, I was like, honestly, this is pretty. It's fine. It's fun. Once you get to the latter half of that season, though,
it's great.
And it pops off, and you're like, oh my god. I'll never forget the episode with Hal. And when they're on that, it's like all the earthbenders in that village are on this like metal thing in the middle of the ocean. And I was like, wow, I could give 2 shits about this episode because I know that metal bending exists 70 years from now. So all these earthbenders suck. And I looked at Alex and I was like, you never have to worry about how again. These episodes don't matter. I forgot this fool comes back in the Day of Black Sun. And I was like, holy shit. Oh man, that means you have to watch those episodes because this guy fucking matters, kind of. He doesn't matter at all.
No, he does not. He's not real big.
How doesn't matter? I forgot that the Duke and Smellerby come back. So when Jet gets killed off, I'm like, the Jet episode, I was like, yeah, no, you don't need to worry about the Smellerby or the Duke. Like, they don't care. They don't matter. None of Jet's crew matters because Jet dies. And then they came
Jet
back in the
up. Jet
I legit thought Smellerby and the Duke died because I forgot they were in the Day of Black Sun. I was like, oh, we never see them again. And then they came back.
I know they are.
And then Alex was like, I think you have a photographic memory for this shit. And I was like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I quoted almost every line out of the Jin Wei and Wei Jin episode.
That's a funny episode. That's filler, but that's a funny episode.
That's hella filler. It doesn't matter. And I was like, wow, this episode sucks dick.
It does. But it's funny. So that's one of the things Avatar does really well is you get the serious and then you get the comical. Because technically in between, I've generalized 2 through 10, or 3 through 10, I'm sorry. And I still will. To anybody listening, episode 8 is the storm. Am I denying the storm is obviously important? Correct, it is. But when you shove it in between water scroll pirates,
they matter. They come back.
They kind of do.
They come back.
Homie, they come back because their return. So this is something Avatar does, and I'm not going to shit on them for this. This is just, I guess, what you have to do when it's animated and you need reactions.
Yeah.
They do have returns that are essentially meaningless and could be done by any other character. They just want a recognizable face. The pirates attacking Zuko means zero that it's the pirates. Zhao could have hired some random nigga down the street that knew how to toss a fucking bomb and said, yo, dog, I'll give you a K if you should try to snuff this nigga Zuko tonight.
Dude, this fool was like the creators of the show, though. I think they really like the design of those pirates. Like, I justify it like, oh, they really enjoyed animating them, and so they wanted to bring them back.
Yeah, no, they could.
Same with the, there's a lot of, like, unspoken stuff, too. I forget how much they talk about Iroh's kid. Like, throughout the whole show, I really forget how much they talk about Lu Ten.
So Iroh's one of the ones that, like, the main talking points I wanted to bring up. Him and Toph, right? So, what I wanted to ask as far as your experience rewatching it and your experience along with Alex's, right? So, running down my list here, okay. Who was Alex's favorite character as she was watching this?
Her favorite charter?
Yeah, or the character. If not favorite, this character she was really invested. I'm going to speak for her. Do it. Be a misogynist. Who could you tell, like, and it doesn't have to be her exact opinion, but, like, who could you tell, like, she was interested or more interested when they were on the screen?
Probably Toph. I think Toph might have been her, like, go-to.
Because Noemi was a hardcore Zuko person. Like, she was the entire time. It was nuts.
Katara? Oh, she was in it for Katara Zuko?
No, not even Katara. She could give a fuck about Katara.
Okay.
But she was the entire time. Anytime Zuko got into some shit, she's like, please tell me he doesn't die. Please tell me, like, he doesn't just fuck this all up. Like, he's not a shitty person. And I'm like...
Yeah. I could tell you, it's definitely for Korra, it was Bolin. Like, and she was like, you remind me of Bolin. And I was like, that's the best compliment I've ever been given. Ever.
Homie lava man.
I was like, thank you. I don't feel like an earthbender sometimes, but thank you. But I think it was Toph. Like, it was Aang or Toph, maybe. Probably Toph.
What do you think was her favorite part?
Favorite part?
Yeah, at least part she's most interested in.
Bro, she's in, like, the other room. I just get her. But
do it. Get her on the show.
Nah.
Damn.
I'd rather speak for her.
There we go. There's that misogyny kicking through.
Favorite part? Maybe when they're, like, fucking up the Earth Kingdom. Or, like, fucking up the Earth Palace.
Hanging them? Or...
Yeah, when they all come in and, like, kind of start fucking shit up.
Oh, with, like, the Dai Li and...
Yeah, they're like, fuck it, we're over it. And then... Because that's, like, kind of anarchist thinking. And I'm like, that seems like Alex. So...
She was... She liked the Day of Black Sun, even though she never thought it was going to work. Speaking for Noemi.
That's fair.
She liked the Day of Black Sun. It makes sense. Like, that's...
I have a theory that the Day of Black Sun was initially meant to... Like, it was always meant to be a failure, but I think it was initially meant to be a... like, it was wrong intel that was going to fuck them up. So they were going to send everybody in to do the eclipse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And firebenders were still going to be able to firebend. Because there's a shot when Sokka, like, is rushing and he, like, they find the eclipse date. but it's not a perfect eclipse. Like you can see that the sun is still kind of peeking out behind the moon. And so I was like, oh, like I think they gave themselves that wiggle room. And then at some point in the writing process, they switched it to just like, oh, it's an eclipse.
You know, it's the day of Black Sun is just too easy of a. Oh yeah, this is the solution. Like,
yeah,
niggas
you want to know what? I could tell you what episode Alex hated the most. The Ember Island Players one. The flashback episode. I think she hated that one the most. She hates the flashback episodes, dude.
So Noemi's kind of the same. Like Noemi didn't fuck with the storm, which kind of broke my heart.
Oh, the storm's so good. Zuko Alone's also really good.
Zuko Alone is fantastic. She liked Zuko Alone because she just liked Zuko. But that was because that was Zuko in real time versus Pat. She didn't like this. She won't like this comment. Because I asked her, I'm like, all right, so you liked Zuko Alone. Now, what if I told you that was Zuko from like 2 years ago? She's like, what? I'm like, what's the difference in liking that episode, which is all around character development, versus being a flashback that's all about character development? I don't know, man. That's my way that I take flash. Because, like I said, the storm, I was going to say this, is, yes, the storm is episode 8, and that's important. But like I said, it feels odd to have that important of a moment around those episodes in that particular order. I don't know if that's where I would throw it. I don't know. Not saying I have the answer. Because like I said.
Well, with a backstory episode like that, for pacing purposes, you probably want to throw it in between a couple episodes of filler. Because, like I said, season 1 has quite a bit. Mm-hmm. And this is what I liked about Last Airbender. Every single filler episode has some little piece of canon thrown into it.
Oh, yeah.
Like with the fucking Hao episode, right? Hao finding his dad. Worthless. Completely pointless, right?
Mm-hmm.
Zuko finds the necklace at the very end.
Yeah.
And that is going to carry through. That's a through line to another 2 or 3 episodes, you know. With the Great Divide, that one might just be bullshit episode. That might be the only filler is the Great Divide. I can't remember how that ended.
The Air Temple episode, I don't remember if the Air Temple season 1 or season 2, but with the mechanized flyers.
That matters.
It does, but it only really matters for the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, because, okay, so I don't count that one as filler. I think every single episode that involves a air temple is important to Aang's story. It's character development on his side because it's him going, you see his connection to the world and his heritage, which means he has to push that to the side because he's bigger than an airbender and he's bigger than the world. He's the Avatar. And that's something he discovers in the second season and ignores entirely. And then something that comes to full fruition in the third season. But it all starts with the Southern Air Temple. And so he moves from there to the Northern Air Temple and his heritage has been beat to shit. Mm-hmm. It also talks about the idea of progress and like time moving on. Like, yeah, like your culture was here, but the world moved on from the airbenders being dead. Like that's the commentary I get out of that episode. And it ends with firebenders being able to fly. Which is huge. Yeah.
It's funny because it does throw in like there's a funny conundrum question, and I'm not trying to shit on Avatar, but this was just as I was rewatching, I was like, wow, how did they do this? So it took a non-bending weirdo scientist for firebenders to discover a hot air balloon, which is like, yeah, really?
Think about what that creation did though, because by Korra's time, airplanes are a thing.
Correct.
So it's like the idea of flight wasn't really thought about before. Like it's the idea that I don't know, whatever nation you want to think about, to compare the Fire Nation to. You can do Germany, you can do Russia, America, whatever. But it's the idea that like when you are in complete and utter power, you are able to churn out these goods because you're in complete control. You're also in wartime mode, which means it's like I need to be faster than everybody else. There is no such thing as like mechanized tanks before Last Airbender. You know?
Well, Sozin had mechanized tanks. Because that's because that other way, because my joking question
warships.
is
they had warships. They even say that like
because that's how they got on the temple in the first place. The same way they were going up that episode, that was how they got up. Because otherwise,
I think they walked up those temples and then
how'd they fuck with the Eastern Air Temple? That bitch is upside down.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, there's
who thought like, yo, how you like detached from the world, my nigga? You are upside down on a mountain. Excuse me.
It's the coolest air temple, dude. And
how did they get there?
How did they build that?
No, fuck how they built that. I'm excluding that question. How the fuck did firebenders get there in order to exterminate?
So I thought about it a lot, and I think it's the idea that none of the air nomads thought a genocide would be possible. I think they feared one coming, and the power that comes from Sozin's comet was enough to like, because firebenders could fly with that kind of firebending power.
Well,
I think it was a coordinated strike.
Ozai could fly. I don't think
Azula
every firebender
could fly.
Azula was gliding. Azula was
Azula's like, look,
her basic form that she could fly. Okay.
I'm saying that like firebenders could fly, and there was such a if they did a coordinated strike all on the day of Sozin's comet at all 4 air temples, then you'd knock them out like immediately, because there's no way that like you could. There's no way.
No, yeah, Sozin's comet firebenders
but
nuts.
Airbenders didn't go out like no bitch either. Gyatso took out like 10 dudes by himself.
I think it's more than that. Gyatso had
He had like a hall full of dead people. Like how many breaths did he take? Like he saw them coming in and he was like, all right, oh, and then he like sucked the breath out of their head.
I would like to think
before he burned alive.
Gyatso's last words were, "Bitch, suck my dick."
Oh yeah. He probably got like stabbed and he was like, okay. And like, he probably kept getting stabbed and then he eventually died. Like firebending didn't hurt him.
Like, yeah, man.
Gyatso was a fucking bamf, dude.
All right. So now they got over a couple of those. I want to throw 2 other ones. So one is a versus battle, which I think is really interesting. And the other is so Avatar is unique because Avatar is, yes, it has its kid show mechanics, so some of the parts are naturally simple to get kids involved. This is why you see a lot of the really basic techniques. Aang overuses the air ball, just the glider, shit to make kids more
really
involved,
cool.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they're simple techniques in the grand scheme of that world. I would argue that Toph is the general fan favorite of Team Avatar. And I'm counting Team Avatar, Zuko, Toph, Katara, Sokka.
She has the best lines. Every blind joke is hilarious.
Oh, they're fantastic.
Yeah,
I forgot how
single
good
one
they
of them
were.
Every single one of them. Like, I would look at Alex and go like, it lands. Every single blind joke is funny.
But Toph is unique because she is one of the simplest characters ever written. And she has that kind of appeal. Because Toph is the only one in Team Avatar has no growth. Toph is who she is when you fucking find her, all the way up until Korra fucking finds her 70 motherfucking years later.
I'll counter that. I think Toph learned a lot from Iroh. I think her and Iroh had a really... There's a reason why Toph was like, I'm leaving the world, to go on this spiritual journey. Mm-hmm. And like the Toph that I remember from Airbender wouldn't end up in the forest in the swamp. That's not the Toph I remember.
Correct, but she was her. So I'm not challenging her thought. I don't think Toph is stupid. That's not what I mean by simple.
No. I think her growth is more on the spiritual side, and where she leaves to go on a spiritual journey. She wants to be. She becomes more wise and worldly. She's still Toph, which is cool. Her growth in Last Airbender is more one-dimensional in the sense that like she doesn't think in a team sense at all. And then by the end of the show, she's a very she's
a team player, but she still hates authority. She hates the system. I would even argue adult Toph, the whole reason she went to the swamp is she knew, or at least got a grip. I don't remember exactly. You probably could speak to it a little better. Korra's not as fresh in my mind. I'm sure there was some Aang pushing her, like, "Hey, metal bending can be a great help and necessity to the world. Like, you need to be in charge of this." So she accepted that responsibility. But the second there was enough Earth metal benders that she didn't have to do everything, she got the fuck out because she will never. Toph is never a system person. She's not she doesn't want to be a part of society. She doesn't want to take orders. She doesn't want to have rules. She wants to bitch wants to walk barefoot her whole fucking life, make blind jokes, and throw rocks. And that is her from the time we meet her all the way up to Korra. She adapted a bigger role because the Avatar found her. Like, sorry, there's a little more to your life when the Avatar finds you. Sorry. Because she is so, and it's beautifully simplistic. I'm not shitting on Toph. I love Toph.
Oh, yeah.
It's so beautifully simplistic. No one even cares. We never see her parents again.
Yeah, they talk a lot about the Beifongs in the lore. I think you see her parents again in the comics. But I don't remember. It's like 1 page, 2 pages or something.
Yeah, but that's a big thing. She ran away from home. And we don't ever see them in another animated episode. The entirety of the show.
Yeah, I agree. The idea of Beifong is a very strong name. It's like Skywalker in Star Wars. Beifong it's in the Kyoshi books. Like the Beifong have that much of an influence. Mm-hmm. That stretches all the way to Kyoshi, who's like 200 something years old, mm-hmm. Which that's confirmed. Fucking A, dude. Kyoshi's age is ridiculous. Earthbenders don't die.
Well, you got to think Roku made it to 70. Aang made it to 70. The Avatar lives for a good amount of time. Because
Roku got killed. We don't know how old Roku could have been. Aang died of old age, and people theorized it's because of him using all that spiritual energy. I think that Earthbenders just live for a shit ton of time.
Well, Aang's age is only his exact age not confirmed, but Korra is 70 years. The story of Korra is 70 years after Avatar Aang saved the world. So Aang is 12 or 112 if you want to be that person. So Aang is 12. So 70
plus
years
16.
Well, no,
plus,
just from the age. Yeah. So 70 plus 12, 16. He's got to be. If Korra's 16, that takes out. Excuse me. He's got to be in the late 60s, early 70s when he dies.
They mentioned that Aang died young. He was in his 60s when he died, I think.
Which is kind of wild that like a primitive world, because besides bending, Avatar is primitive, that like 60 is considered young. I would say that's a decent amount of time. And Roku was at least...
Aang died at like 66. That's the estimated... I guess he's 13 at the end of... So 67 years old. So he's like 13 at the end of when he saves the world. Because it takes place a year later.
Correct.
Like the whole show takes place over the span of a year.
Yeah. So you got to imagine, okay, so he's late 60s, early 70s, somewhere in that time span, right? Okay. Roku died, I believe the comment in the episode is as once Sozin confirmed that Roku was dead, he went full-blown mode. Like, it took about like 6 months to a year to go into like, all right, we starting this. The Avatar's not here. I'm gonna go kill the fucking airbenders and take, because he wanted to give some time to lapse for the next child to be born, the next Avatar to be born.
Yeah, like he knew it was going to be an airbender, and so at least 12 years passed before he was like, all right, I'm gonna fucking wipe him out.
Absolutely.
Which means Aang, and if Aang was in the iceberg for 100 years, that means the year that he disappeared was the same year that Sozin started the war.
Correct. So, yeah,
Which means Sozin's comet came that year.
Mm-hmm.
Which yeah. So which was why my theory is like he used Sozin's comet to wipe out every single air temple.
Well, yeah, they established that like this plan only works when you have the comet, which is why even Ozai is like, yeah, I'm gonna wipe out the Earthbenders because I got the comet. Otherwise, just wiping out the Earthbenders is not like a casual statement. Yeah, we should go.
Yeah, that's a big piece of land.
Like, so
I can't wait to talk about Korra. I got a lot of talking points for Korra.
Same.
We'll do that. What, next week? You said?
Yeah, that'll be next week. Well, if not next week, maybe the week after. We finished Avatar, and collectively, I think it took us about 5 days. She was really big into binging that. There is a different feel between Korra and Aang, so I don't know if she'll be as. Korra is usually. I don't know if Korra is a lot deeper, and I don't know if it's the best binge. Like, I don't think I would ever want to overlap Korra. Like, I would want to watch a season in a day or 2 days, and then give it a day or two, then watch it again, because Korra's got some heavier stuff, deeper stuff. I understand. Aang started with genocide, fine, but like, it's like Korra's villains and her development is just
Korra is very much shaped by her villains.
Correct.
And
although I will call some bullshit on season 1's ending, because especially the way the tiger turtle talks about chi to Aang, just because you don't know how to airbend does not technically mean your chi should not work that way.
Yeah.
I was like,
you want to know? Okay. Do you want to know how I justify it? Here's how I justified it. And I'm like, oh, it's just because this fool is stupid. Amon just was, he's never had to block this chi point before. There is, and when Aang is training with opening up the pools of chi inside of him in that episode, there is an earth chi, a fire chi, a water chi, and a wind chi, right? And so I'm like, oh, if that's your circle, right? And he uses blood bending, which is essentially just water bending, to block that pool of chi, then you should technically not be able to fire bend or earth bend or water bend
or
air bend. Yeah, exactly.
Because doesn't he hit? I like I said, Korra's not a freshman. Like, doesn't he get Tenzin?
No, he never gets Tenzin.
He never gets any of the kids. I know they attack where the kids are, but he never gets them.
They never get it. They get Beifong.
That's right. I remember that.
But they never get the kids or the family. He threatens to wipe out the Air Nation, which means people. Yeah, right. And but he's able to like wipe Korra because he knows Korra has 3 elements, but he messes up and he doesn't block the air because there is no air yet, right? She's not a fully realized avatar. So my theory was that trauma triggers her being able to actually airbend, and thus save the day.
That's fine and all, but the way
the show will never explain it.
Well, the fucking tiger turtle is like, the whole reason you guys can bend is because you're essentially turning your inward energy outward. And so there's just some of you that when you turn inward energy outward, it coincides with water. Some of you, it coincides with earth. It coincides with fire. So I'm like, and then if you're the avatar, obviously you have Rava. I don't want to go too deep into this episode, but like, obviously you got Rava, which means, hey, I correlate with fucking everything. But if I'm to take that as Rava gives you access to everything, and it's your chi going inwards to outwards, which is the essence of bending, bitch, if I cut off everything, motherfucker, everything should. I'm gonna give him a pass.
He didn't cut it off though. That's my thing, because I think he just was hitting
those.
I think he's just hitting those points. Like he's just hitting your point of whatever. Like, you're a firebender, I'm cutting off the fire chi. Water, earth, etc. Yeah. I had to double check it because I'm like, there has to be like something that they're not explaining, because they never explain it, right?
It's still a little fishy.
Because it's also fishy because Katara can't fix it.
Katara can't, and like I said, this is a next week topic. I'll move after this line. But like,
yeah, I know. Sorry.
Not only can Katara not fix it, clearly, and once again, the Tiger Turtle, who I fucking had a brand new like, oh my gosh, this nigga is a genius, because explaining it the way he does makes a lot more sense why there's more cross bending in Korra. That because Aang was a very chi-driven avatar, presumably after the war, and he was able to teach these kind of things that, hey, just because I have access to all four, you guys can still control your chi, and you can go like Toph goes from earth. I don't know if metal bending is supposed to be the cross between earth and fire, earth and water, whatever it is, but like lava bending is a mix of fire and earth. You are predominantly a firebender, but you can access your earth chi, and that's how you get here. Explosion bitch. I don't know exactly what that is the cross of, but bitch
don't
can
worry.
cross them.
They never ever explain combustion bending or where it comes from or what they do. You want to know what they did do though? This is yeah, they killed them both. No, I had to look into this because I was like, you have to explain. There has to be something like extended universe like explanation of combustion bending. There isn't. What there is Sparky Boom Man's like power, or like the reason why he has a metal and a metal arm, metal leg, is because when he was a kid, he discovered he had the ability to blow things up, and he blew his arm and leg off. And that was only on the Nickelodeon bio on nick.com, and that shit got taken down.
Damn.
Yeah, Nickelodeon was like, too dark, bye.
Hey,
I was like, fuck. I just want to know where these people come from.
Oh, fuck. All right, here's my hypothetical verses, and I'm going to make an argument for one of them, even though I think the other one is definitively stronger. Okay. Now, Iroh was clearly a fan favorite, right?
You think who's Iroh versus Ozai? Is that your...
Yes, because... Now, and this has to be assessed only from the perspective of with Sozin's comment, because we have never seen Ozai firebend outside of Sozin's comment. So
you see him lightning bend.
Yeah, even that's like...
You also see him shoot Zuko in the face.
You don't technically see that. You
don't
see the
technically
aftermath.
see him shoot him in the face. That's true. Okay.
You just see the aftermath. Okay, so you have lightning, which... There is a good point, and the lightning is, I don't think that's his full lightning. Now, I don't think he can fucking fly with his feet and shoot lightning at 100 miles an hour at Aang without the comment. But I do think the slightest sliver of sun and him to generate that much lightning, like, I think Ozai is more powerful than Iroh. Let me just start with that. I'm going to make a case for Iroh winning, but Ozai is more powerful. But this conversation has to be based on simply Sozin's comment, because the majority... 99% of Ozai's bending comes during that time.
Okay.
So starting with, we can break it down here, some categories. Powerful. I think Ozai is more powerful than Iroh at their respective ages, because I don't know how much older Iroh is, but he's clearly a good amount older, because Iroh is gray as fuck, and Ozai looks like he is in prime of his life.
Yeah.
I don't know what their age gap is, but I'm presuming it's 10 years. I don't know if that sounds crazy, but
I'll put stock in Ozai. You want me to like play Iroh? You want me to play Iroh? Okay.
Well, no, I am rooting for Iroh, but my reasoning for Iroh winning is gonna sound nuts. Because I'm gonna make the kind of argument that's like, yeah, Ozai's better. This over here looks better, shoots more fire, and I still think Iroh wins. Because it's just like.
All right, so here's my
Ozai's age.
Here's my counter. they would fuck each other up very well because we can't forget that on the day of Black Sun, Iroh ripped his way out of, like, he broke his way out of prison.
Yes.
The fool broke metal. He bent metal without bending. Can you imagine that fist, like, punching you in the face?
He is
with full fire bending. Plus, Iroh has the ability to redirect lightning.
Hold on one second. Make your point. I gotta grab some real quick. Hold on one second. Keep talking. Talk to the listeners. Talk to the listeners.
All right, guys. So, Iroh, like I said, has the power to redirect lightning. That's really good. Ozai can't do that. So, one good lightning bolt. The counter argument to that, though, is would Iroh have the stones to kill his own brother? And I don't know about that. We got a Hulk monster that can redirect the most powerful form of firebending. And yet somehow his conscience might keep him from killing his brother. It's hard to say because they've never met in the show, like, at all. In terms of Ozai winning, you never see Ozai fight. I don't know, man. Welcome back, brother.
Welcome back. I thought I had it. I have an Avatar figurine somewhere, and I was gonna grab it, but I couldn't find it. I'm also looking at the age here real quick, and Iroh doesn't have a definitive age. Ozai's 45.
Yeah, so older than 45.
Because
we'll say, like, Iroh's like 50. Let's just do that. That's an easy number.
I don't even think he's 50. Because Iroh looks like Ozai in the flashback of Ba Sing Se. They look then like they're the same age. They have their full colored hair.
Like, I think Iroh losing his son aged him a lot.
Correct.
I think that really messed with him.
Because he's gray at Zuko's banishment. The Agni Kai and then the banishment. Yeah. Gosh, I wish I had this fucking number. Recap me really quick what you just told the fans.
I said that
less words than what you told them.
Iroh could potentially beat Ozai because he can redirect lightning because he invented that technique. Piggybacking off of that, Iroh's knowledge of the other elements and utilization of that fighting style puts him in a more enlightened mode than Ozai. However, with Hulk's strength and being able to rip his way out of prison, with redirection of lightning and knowledge of the other elements, I don't think Iroh has the stones to kill his brother. I don't think he does.
Okay, so I like that comment, but I think he does only. I don't think he wants to, because obviously, like, Iroh's spiritual, he's all that. For Iroh to not be willing to kill his brother would make him too close to the Avatar. Aang did not kill Ozai because he's an air monk and he's the Avatar, and he's like, all right, I have to make this personal conflict. Unless you're the Avatar, though, I still think Iroh has the characteristics and demeanor of a firebender and someone of the Fire Nation, which means, does he want to? No. Would he? Zuko shot lightning right back at his dad. I think Iroh's got it in terms of being willing to kill.
Iroh also makes the comment that he's like, I don't even know if I could beat Ozai.
That's important.
And we're talking about a guy that, like I said, was able to rip metal apart with his bare hands and literally invented the technique of redirection.
Also, there's a very in-depth Reddit article that says there is a 17-year age difference between Iroh and Ozai because supposedly, if you go off this, there is a quote-unquote heir to the throne mentality. And because Iroh was the general and was into the military and like he was going to be a fighter at a very young age, that they wanted another son when they feared something could happen to Iroh. So, and this talks about Azulon and when Roku died, and that's when Sozin had Azulon, who was the grandpa, or Iroh's dad, but the grandpa to Zuko and Azula. That he was 37 when he made him, and he was 20. Yeah, 37 when he made Ozai, and 20 when he made Iroh. Because they don't have moms. No one has a mom in this show. Katara had a mom, and she died.
Toph?
Yeah, but Toph's mom says 3 lines. Zuko's mom is gone. Like,
yeah, she has more lines in the comic.
Don't be a mom in the Avatar world.
Yeah, be a mom in the Korra world. Much
there
better.
You go.
Your parents are dead if you're Bolin and Mako.
Facts.
But grandma's alive.
Yeah. Do you think that Iroh being the natural war guy works? Because Iroh was the general. Ozai, until he becomes Fire Lord, is not involved in the military. Do you think that matters?
In terms of strength?
In terms of not just strength, because like I said, I think Ozai at their respective ages has more pure power. But as a fighter and ability to fight, do you think Iroh has an edge, or does it give him any kind of advantage that he was a general for X amount of years and he's probably been in generally more high-risk situations, which is why throughout the show he reacts really well to high-conflict areas like Zhao being a shitbag, and like he reacts to that instantly. Azula shooting lightning reacts to that instantly. Like, he's always kind of on top of it when it comes to that shit. Does that matter in a fight against his brother?
I don't know. I would say no, because Zuko was definitely the military kid, but Azula was the talented one.
That's fair.
I think I wanted to say Iroh. I almost brought up the Dragon of the West thing, but he didn't kill the dragon. So I was going to, but he could have.
He is also the only firebender, which the writers, there's an article that the writers did, which also they talk about Ozai is more powerful at that current point in time. But that Iroh was the first firebender in however many years to learn how to breathe fire from his mouth, which is part of why he's the Dragon of the West, but that he did teach that to his family, which is why Ozai is portrayed shooting fire from his mouth during Sozin's comment. But just regularly, Iroh is the only one that does that.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd love to see something with Liu 10, honestly.
That would be cool. I would love to see the attack on Ba Sing Se. We always talk about Naruto, like the war, like getting to see the war. I would love to see Iroh invade Ba Sing Se.
It would break my heart. It'd be such a hard watch, but I'd be down.
It's gonna be sad, but like, fuck, man, like, because
it's gotta be dope. Or flip side, it's just like, because he broke through to the
other side of the
rim.
wall.
He broke through to the outer rim.
Yeah, he essentially did what Azula did without having the full force. So like, he broke that same amount of wall that when like Azula gets in and the Dai Li tear down the wall.
Yeah. He
essentially did that, but in Azula's case, there's all the citizens there on the outer rim. When Iroh did it, there was an earthbending army. So he never made it farther than that, but he did break into Ba Sing Se.
Yeah, he broke the wall, but he himself never went into Ba Sing Se.
Correct, because I think once they did, it's without
I
an
think that
exact timeline, his son died very
his
shortly
son
after.
died shortly after that wall went down.
Yeah. Where is it? Mysterious backstory. He's easily moved. No, that's not it. What the fuck? Okay. So Iroh's. See, that's like hard to say who's really like the genius between him and Ozai because they're both strong and they're both prodigies. Iroh's.
I think
Homie made 2 techniques. Like Ozai is just strong. Like Iroh literally, because once he learned, which I think is important, the fact that he learned the true nature of firebending from the dragons, I think is when he started to learn the other techniques involved in firebending, which is breathing from the mouth, redirecting lightning. Without an exact timeline, I'm going to presume that the dragons and his spiritual journey coincided. But
yeah, I'd love to see what a young Iroh looks like. That'd be a fun thing.
Gosh, the war on Boston, the invasion of Boston City would be cool too, because without Iroh being a fan favorite, and might sound like blasphemy, I don't know. Without Iroh being a fan favorite, Liu Ten's irrelevant. We don't know Liu Ten. We never see him outside of the picture. We only feel kind of sad about him when they're doing the Boston City episodes where everybody goes like on their day off. And that episode's sad because Iroh's there at the tree and he's like, "Oh, my son, I love you."
They talk about like you never see Liu Ten, but they talk about him a lot. And like how like there's a flashback when Zuko goes back to Ember Island and it's him playing in the sand with Iroh, and you see Iroh like holding him up, like, you know, like Zuko, he's holding Zuko up, but you see a boy playing in the sand with him to show that Zuko like grew up with Liu Ten, and they had that connection.
Yeah, he's
a strong spiritual presence throughout the show.
Oh yeah,
which is hilarious because I had to remind Alex like 3 or 4 times who Liu Ten was.
I had to. The first season of Avatar. The other thing that's like when you rewatch, obviously, I think watching it in real time as a kid, you don't really pick up on Iroh being like being different essentially until it gets to the north, right? Until it's the siege on the north. Because then it's, okay, Zhao's recruiting him because he's this big famous war general. You see him take out the 5 dudes in like 5 seconds. And you start to go, oh, okay, homie's not just like fat and just, all right, he's with the shits.
Yeah, when he gives a fuck, he's really strong.
Rewatching it, and you know he's with the shits, you're like, damn, this nigga really just let Aang get away like 10 times.
Like, oh yeah, dude, like what is it? Yeah, in the very beginning when Aang like flies away or something after like launching everyone off the boat. Mm-hmm. I'm like, oh, Iroh could have like fucked this kid's day up. Like,
but the White Lotus, that I'm sad about, by the way. I'm very sad. Like the White Lotus they are so secret, we never get to find out about them. There was no in-depth search in-depth look into the White Lotus. We just know
they talk about it more in Kyoshi. So the White Lotus was tasked with, after Avatar Kuruk died, because he dies at like 30 something.
The waterbender, right?
The waterbender, yeah, he dies really early. His final word is he reestablishes the White Lotus to go find the next Avatar, which is Kyoshi. Mm. After that, they kind of settle down. because Kyoshi lives to be like 200 something. And the Airbenders do their, yeah. Oh yeah. And then the Airbenders like do their own thing to find the Avatar. When Aang's final thing is somewhere between Aang's death and the end of the show, they established that the White Lotus is acting too much in Aang's favor and not enough for the world, and they split apart, and that faction becomes the Red Lotus.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we get that storyline. It's actually really interesting. If I didn't have to pay $20 for a book, I'd probably buy it. But, you know, it's online. It's a thing.
Where we at? So Iroh versus Ozai. I don't know, man. I'm one of those people. I'm an Iroh fanboy. I'm not gonna lie. I just have trouble, even with as strong as I think Ozai is, and even during the comment, like, do niggas not realize? I saw someone making a video about it, and they were like, "Oh, Ozai is way too powerful. If you look at the fire he made to burn down the forest on his way to Aang, like Iroh never produces that much fire."
That's not true. Iroh makes a fireball that flies through the fucking wall.
That was my first thought.
Like, are you kidding? This dude goes, okay, and he like shoots a fireball that from his mouth that blows a hole in the outer wall of Ba Sing Se.
Niggas spent years sieging that bitch and trying to take that fucking wall down. And then the nigga's like, I bet Firebender's watching it. Cool. Takes 30 seconds and creates the same sized fucking hole.
Oh yeah, dude.
Like Iroh is, oh my gosh. Iroh was so strong in that moment. Zhang's irrelevant. Zhang is the only member of the White Lotus who I could give a fuck about.
Yeah, because he doesn't do anything. He goes, oh, Aang, you're real, like, worthless at firebending, and then he's out. What the fuck? I trained Zhao, and then he leaves.
Zhao holds up pretty okay as a beginning villain. Zhao holds up pretty well.
And then what they end up doing to him in the
spirit world
is probably the most poetic thing. Like, it's cool that he it's cool to go in thinking, oh, they killed him, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm okay with that death. It's even more okay when you realize that Aang never talked about Zhao. The history books never talk about Zhao, which means everything that he wanted
never happened.
Which his legacy is nothing. And I'm like, oh wow, that's really cool. It's because Tenzin's like, I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. Yeah. it means Aang never talked about Zhao at all.
Yeah. And
he never talked about him.
Which is a weird, and like the rankings of the Fire Nation military is weird because the royal family is a part of the military and they've obviously got a class above them. But like Zhao becoming admiral is one of the weirdest non-consequential things that happened to him. Like, hey, he's an admiral, he's got archers, and then proceeds to go out 4 episodes later. Like, the army of the Fire Nation is weird. Because Iroh was a general and had more pull than anybody. Like,
well, he could have just been a general of his like platoon. I feel like the admiral is like controls everything, right?
You would think, but he had to ask Iroh for permission. He's like, "Hey, I want you to join me. Will you join me?" And when he wanted the archers, he said, "Nah, bitch, give me the archers. I'm the admiral now." Like, he still had to ask. He still had to ask Iroh for his permission. Like, hey, will you please join me?
Oh, I figure that's more of a respect thing. Like, oh, like you're a legend, and if you rode into battle with me, it would legitimize like both of us.
But he shit talks him on the way. He says, "Oh, you failed," the Ba Sing Se. I know you this and that, but I'm here. I'm gonna kill the moon, bitch. I'm me.
Yeah. So like I think he shit talks him because he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna do what you've never could," and that is succeed.
Damn.
Yeah, right. Like to be straight up, like it's like, oh, you had a good plan, and then like something happened, but that won't happen to me.
And he got fucked up even worse.
And then he got fucking forgotten.
Yeah.
History does not remember Admiral Zhao. They remember. You know who they remember? Admiral Choi. Because they couldn't get his name right, bro.
How would you put it? Said he's a miniature. Who you got? Out of 10 fights, who you think wins more fights? Iroh or Ozai?
Out of 10 fights?
Out of 10 fights. So consistently, who you think wins? Because obviously, like in a one-of, either of them could win. I'm not going to take that away from either of them. They're both insanely strong. And the writers do come out and say, now this is during season 2 when they technically were quoting saying this, so keep that kind of in mind, is that Ozai was the strongest firebender alive. Whether that holds up for season 3, because obviously you get the full Iroh backstory, who he is, why he's so important to the world in season 3, and they might not have wanted to spoil that. They clarify in the middle of season 2 that that Ozai is the strongest firebender in the world.
Yeah. I mean, if they say that, then, you know, I'll go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Kishimoto said Itachi was the strongest character in Naruto.
Tied with Jiraiya. I'll say pre-Rinnegan.
The other pre-Sasuke inheriting God.
That's literally pre-Rinnegan. Like Itachi's,
yeah,
he's fucking with him.
Yeah, well, they even said like Itachi could beat Pain. Like that was something Kishimoto said. Itachi could beat Pain, and he could go toe to toe with Madara too. I remember him saying that Madara getting Sage of Six Paths power. Yeah, like zombie Madara wouldn't have held shit to Itachi.
I love Itachi.
Per Kishimoto.
I'm not rolling Kishimoto. Sorry, I know your story better than you. But like, I'm not rolling with that because that would fuck up too much of the power scale. Like Itachi is amazing. He beats any normal shinobi. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, there's a reason why he was straight up like, oh, I can't fight Jiraiya right now, and then he left.
Yeah, that was like,
we are not strong enough to fight this fool. But then that also could have been him lying and going, oh, I don't want to fight Jiraiya right now.
I was like,
I don't want to fight Jiraiya because I'm a double agent.
That could have been. I always loved, and obviously, like, I'm a Jiraiya homer until the day I leave this earth. But I always loved it because Jiraiya, I don't think, was strong enough to kill Itachi without it almost costing his own life. Mm-hmm. But I thought there was something to when you fight as a two-man team, which Itachi and Kisame would have done. Is I think Itachi's almost like, damn, like if I gotta fight with you, I gotta kind of watch out for you, and that might be enough that if Jiraiya is a 9.9 and I'm 9.8 or 9.9, like you being there actually drags me down. Yeah, you might be a 9, but like homie, like we gonna both end up dead. Which is the same reason why Jiraiya would not engage in certain fights because of Naruto, because it didn't matter that Jiraiya was. Him and Orochimaru were the strongest people pre-Shippuden. Fighting with other people does bring you down to a degree.
Yeah. Do you want me to spoil something with Boruto for you?
Go. I'll be honest with you.
You don't give a fuck.
I might not ever watch Boruto. It's 5 years in or 6 years in, and I have never woken up. One clip on YouTube has gotten me kind of excited, and it didn't last more than 30 seconds.
Yeah, I gave it 100 episodes, and I'm good. I was telling a friend of mine, I was like, let me know when Kawaki makes it in, and then I'll jump back in, because that's when I think the story gets kind of interesting. No, the theory is Jiraiya has been resurrected.
I've seen that, the guy in the mask and
Kashin Koji, yeah.
Yeah,
Like he's a robotic, he's a cybernetic recreation of Jiraiya. I can't tell if you froze or not. Okay, he moved. But like, yeah, I'm like, please, please, please don't make it Jiraiya. Don't make it Jiraiya. You're going to take away so much of the story if you bring back Jiraiya. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Jiraiya is one of the few characters, and this isn't saying he's the best character as much as I love him. Like, this ain't saying he's the best character ever. This ain't saying he's got the greatest story ever. I'm not saying he is any of that. But he's one of the few characters, when we were rewatching Naruto, and I realized this, is he is actually there for the perfect amount of time.
Yeah.
He comes in at a really goofy / weird time, and like it's the Chunin exams, and they're starting to pull a lot of attention towards Sasuke. Jiraiya comes in, puts a lot more importance back on Naruto, gets the nine-tailed fox really involved again, and it's like, all right. Then he dips out for a little bit. He's important again he shows up for literally, which is kind of funny and doesn't hold up as well, but like he's there for like 5 seconds of the fucking Leaf Village getting ransacked. Homie drops a frog and then leaves.
Yeah, because he wasn't there.
Like,
that's the thing. Like he was out doing stuff, and then Orochimaru popped off, and then he came back. No, Jiraiya's character is meant to bring Naruto to his best. Mm-hmm. That is Jiraiya's character. In a world where Sasuke is the coolest, Jiraiya is there to make Naruto better. Mm-hmm. And he does. Absolutely. So I'm really not okay if Boruto is bringing back Jiraiya.
It's not needed. It's not needed.
I'll be so... What did I say is like, what's one of my biggest pet peeves?
Doing anything Bleach does?
Resurrection is a huge pet peeve of mine. It's just lazy.
It is.
It is. You could literally make the exact same character. I'm looking at you, Oda. And it's infinitely more interesting than Resurrection.
Correct.
And Resurrection doesn't do shit for me.
Especially when you're Naruto, who and they fucked it up towards the end, but they're one of the few shows, when they did the mass resurrection in the Fourth War, I've said this several times, and they gave us resurrection, but new characters, and it was kind of the sped up version of introducing us to all the different lands and Shinobi. I was cool with that. Did it drag on too long? Yeah. But when I got to see like the Explosion Fist bitch and the Seven Swordsman, and I got to go over this, like I was like, oh fuck yeah, this is how you. It's war. It's fast paced. I get flashbacks. I get development. Perfect.
Yeah.
And even
I think they should have kept it with that.
Yeah.
And I didn't need to see Haku.
Haku and Zabuza, I have a soft spot for. I liked the fact that because their fight is short, I did like the fact that they got to come back and Kakashi got to tell their dead selves, hey, Naruto has become a hero. Naruto's turned into a great ninja. I will make an exception for them. I didn't really care so much for like Sai's brother. I was like,
Sai's brother, I didn't give a fuck about. Dan, I didn't give a
yeah, he was irrelevant. Like, there's a lot. The Leaf Village, I didn't care about any of them besides Itachi.
I think even bringing back Asuma.
Yeah, I didn't need it.
Whatever. Like, I'm like, I don't need Asuma to fight Team 7. You know? I like the idea that they come forward. Like, if there had been like a scene where there's a siege of like white Zetsus or someone else in the same clan that Asuma was a part of. If you remember, he was part of like this.
Sarutobi.
Another Sarutobi maybe.
Are we talking about the organization he was a part of?
We're talking about I was talking about the organization.
Oh, okay.
And you have like someone up in there come out, and you have Team 7 fight that. I think that would have been more interesting.
Yeah, I didn't
because like the idea of Choji mastering the butterfly technique is really cool.
It is. But the Leaf
And
Village
it's
was
fucking
over.
and it's fucking butchered in Boruto. Fucking butchered.
I don't even want to know.
Againin, his daughter Againin just does it. Yeah, she just does it.
I'm good on that.
Oh, it's so cheap. I look at that and I'm like, oh, Jesus. This dump it won't stop.
And I'm good on that. I love that Jiraiya was never brought back up because, like I said, he's in there for just the perfect amount of time. Like, I didn't want him to die at the Pain fight, but it makes a lot of sense. It was like his time was essentially up. He got to have his, Tsunade finally acknowledges me or is into me moment, and then go off right into the sunset and die. And just great character. Just great character, great amount of time. Like, he's good. And if there's a homie said, you said cybernetic Jiraiya. I just want you to know that my soul vomited when I heard that.
I'm really scared. They haven't confirmed anything. They've been alluding to it for the last year. And I am dreading because they just had Naruto. So right now this fool's fighting a variation of God. And Naruto's watching this fight go on. And he's like, oh man, that fighting style looks really familiar. The motherfucker is summoning toads and doing Rasengan and shit. Yeah, no shit it looks like. Yeah, I've recognized that fighting style. And I'm just like, dude, Naruto drops the line, wait a minute, I know this fighting style, it looks familiar. No fucking shit. What kind of bullshit?
Keep it a buck that Boruto's ass.
The novel? Or the actual story?
I don't know anything about the actual story, but could we just the anime Boruto, could we just keep it a buck that it's ass?
Yeah, which sucks because the Momoshiki fight's dope as fuck.
I believe that.
Have you watched that?
I've seen
Naruto and Sasuke going fucking ape shit on Momoshiki. It's dope. The anime tuning exam is super worth it, in my opinion. If you only watch those I think it's 20 episodes. If you only watch that, go for it. Give yourself a weekend and then just finish it.
Naruto ended with me for that movie was a great finish because the movie doesn't really add a whole lot, but the fight sequence and getting to see Hokage Naruto and getting to see I'm cool with his only trial and tribulation as Hokage as, I don't know how to be a dad. Because the nigga did everything else while before 16 fucking years old. My nigga saved the world, fought his best friend, almost died several times, did die once, came back.
Merry Christmas.
He's done everything. So I'm cool with his one problem is when you can't punch or throw Rasengan at as Hokage.
Yeah, and his one problem is the thing that he's never had
to do.
Well, it's also he never had one. So yeah, how would he know?
And so I am cool with that little ending scene of Boruto and him finally having family happiness and going to his job and his son's cool. That for me is the end of Naruto. Yeah. I don't really acknowledge Boruto. Sorry to y'all purists out there, but I don't acknowledge it. Naruto's done. Naruto finished.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I really like how they do the tuning exam in the anime. There's more feeling behind some of the shit that's going down.
I believe it.
They set up the Boruto and Gaara's kid dynamic really well because you go, oh, Gaara showed this kid how to do all this crazy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And Boruto, who's in the exact same situation, wasn't even shown how to do shadow clones. Wasn't even shown how to do Rasengan. Konohamaru had to teach him Rasengan. Yeah. So it says a lot about Boruto, that dynamic between him and his dad in comparison to Gaara, who's the exact same as his dad, right?
Essentially.
Yeah. And it also you also understand why he also doesn't lose. They find out that he's cheating at the very end when he wins the tuning exam, which is fucking cool. Yeah, I highly recommend watching those 15 episodes. They're really worth it.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I just, like I said, just for me, like the story of
yeah.
And to be fair, to shit on the anime of Naruto as well, I don't acknowledge the filler. Like the fuck.
That's all Boruto is. Literally, it's all filler, man. Like I was like, come on, you for whatever reason, Onuki's still alive. And I'm like, he's old as fuck. And so they have an arc where they kill him off. And I'm like, cool. I'm glad you did that. That's fantastic. They have Boruto learn how to do summoning technique, and he summons a snake. Like, that's his animal, is a snake. And I'm like, that's awesome. And then the arc ends. There's no sadness that Onuki died. And the snake is never brought up again. And I'm like, what? Like,
to be fair, you don't need an arc to kill off Onuki. Homie's just Madara killed that nigga
they gave a
100 years
whole
ago.
they gave a whole arc to Onuki dying. He should have been dead, but like this fool is the Kyoshi of Naruto and won't die.
And Madara cracked that nigga's head open. As far as I'm concerned,
this fool should have died in the war.
Oh my gosh. Fucking Boruto. Don't bring Jiraiya back.
What's the day? All right, I'll find out. I think later this month if Jiraiya is alive.
Don't tell me. I just don't need to know that. It's just gonna hurt my soul. My soul's been.
We'll take the headphones off, and then I'll just say it into the mic so you don't actually have to hear it, and then you can put your headphones back on.
My soul's been through a lot this month, man. I can't take Jiraiya being alive.
That's the fucking July hit where it's like, oh man, the end of the world. What's July gonna do? And then Jiraiya's alive, and got killed off again.
Yeah, no, I don't need that. I don't need that. Well, for anybody listening, due to some time constrictions, I'm not going to be able to super deep dive into One Piece. I do want to talk about one thing though, and I am really excited, and I just want to know if you share my excitement. Motherfucking Marco's back.
Oh, I'm stoked. I'm beyond stoked.
And the nigga killed the Big Mom Pirates. Maybe.
Yeah, I like the idea that the entire arc is going to be done, and then the Big Mom Pirates will make it up the waterfall.
Homie, I love that, and I want to see if there's and this might be the biggest stretch I've ever said, but it's kind of funny. The right hand of a former emperor and the right hand of a current emperor have both just tossed ships over a fucking waterfall and see if they live or not. Like,
yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, how did the Big Mom Pirates survive the first time? I couldn't tell you. I think they also hold on. Like, this chapter is cool because it set up what? It set up Nami, Chopper, and Usopp versus Big Mom. Like, I'm okay with that, dude.
Oh, and like I said, I don't have a ton of time to deep dive.
Oh, and Carrot too.
I don't think you're gonna get all three of them because Big Mom is chasing Usopp and Chopper. I think she's going to stop chasing them. She's got to come back to where Nami is because Prometheus found Nami and he's like, oh, that's the bitch who took my dog. Hey, Mom, he's got bro.
What if
Mom and Nami about to have a fight?
What if Nami gets both of them?
That would make her
what if Nami seduces Prometheus?
That would I love the idea, but that would honestly make Nami a little too strong. At the current point in the story, with it.
What, 2/3 of Big Mom's power?
She'd be stronger than Luffy. Yeah.
we gotta boost Nami.
She would power creep every single fucking person on the crew.
I'm cool with it. Not like with like Sakura where she's like, oh, I've caught up to you guys. Not like that bullshit, but like this is genuine. Like, oh yeah, I've cheated my way to being stronger than. Yeah. Can you imagine? I have half of Big Mom's strength just like on me at all times.
Also, this chapter hit one of my pet peeves. which Kaido is 2 different sizes in back-to-back panels.
I think it's a joke now. I think Oda genuinely knows he's doing it, and he's like, I don't give a fuck.
Homie, did you see how big he is in comparison in the first panel when they're looking straight at him, and they do a side-by-side with a girl on him, and it's like, oh, y'all the same size now.
No. That's the giant. That's the giant chick. Black Mamba, you mean?
Or Maria?
Black Maria, yeah. Yeah,
like, Black
she's
Mamba's
a giant.
Kobe.
Yeah. She's a giant. So like it's fine.
But okay, so take the other people in the fucking picture though. She's huge.
Sorry, she's not a giant. She's a big person. Excuse me.
She's homie. Like, I'm about to pull up these 2 pages real quick. This is my last thing here before I bounce.
Before I pop off.
Before I pop off, because this picture it drove me nuts. I was like, homie, who are you and why? Okay. Where's the fucking picture? Also, homie who's been a stealthy spy is like crazy strong, maybe? Yes or no? Okay.
Which one?
Kanjuro, or whatever his real name is now.
Kuroshiro?
Is that his real name? Kurozumi.
Oh, yeah. The guy that paints stuff, right?
Yeah. Okay. So page 2 to 3. I'm on my computer here.
Yeah.
Look how big Kaido is. And then homegirl's his size. Look at Orochi. Look at the little fucking midget on his left.
Yeah.
Homie is like, he's minuscule. And then I go just 2 pages fucking farther. And yes, Kaido was still big. I'm not saying he's ever been depicted small. But when him and Orochi are sitting right across from each other, Orochi doesn't look like a fucking bug. Orochi doesn't look like...
Orochi's pretty big too, isn't he?
I don't know.
No, he's like short as fuck. Never mind.
He just turns into a thing. And then they have the panel under, and I get it, it's Momonosuke as a kid, but it's Kaido holding him, and he's like, oh yeah, and Kaido once again looks like he's Whitebeard size, maybe?
Well, also like Kanjuro. Look at Kanjuro. Like how he's picking up how big was Kanjuro? He's not that big, is he? Look at how he's picking up Momonosuke.
Homie, look at you're on your computer, right?
Yeah.
You're on page 4 through 5?
Yeah.
Look at the bottom left. Look at the nigga holding the bottle.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, how big is Kaido? Do you think Oda knows how big Kaido is?
Nigga fell from the clouds and cracked an island and had a mammoth-sized island crack. And I'm just supposed to believe that in some panels he fits in a fucking room with everybody else? Like,
bro, it's a big fucking room.
Homie, look how huge he is, and then look how not huge he is. Oda, how big? Dog, I get so like, and this is a stupid beef, but how big is this? And yeah, you're right, Kanjuro. Why the fuck's he picking a Momonosuke with just his hands?
Yeah, like what the fuck? How big is Kanjuro?
Like,
it's like I revealed who I am. I'm also 6 feet taller than I remember being.
Like,
I'm the same size as you, Kaido. Look at me. Also, this kid was being unruly, so I had to beat the fuck out of him.
Yo, like, and then, hold up. There's niggas sitting next to Kaido, like crisscross, like they're all sitting crisscross applesauce. This is page 6 and 7. Niggas sitting crisscross applesauce next to him, look like a fucking midget. I just need to know. I just need to know.
Give me a fucking size. How big is Kaido?
And then I got Big Mom's ass, who went from, and like she's crazy, so it's believable, but goes 0 to 100. This bitch has been changing her outfit for the last 5 chapters. Looks out the fucking door, sees Chopper, and goes nuts. And now she got her memory back.
Oh yeah, well that was established.
But like, she got it not just back, she's got the angry part back. She was like, where the fuck's Straw Hat? Homie. Homie. Like, I just need to know, man, how tall or big is Kaido? And then Orochi, Dog.
Oh,
Oh,
wait
you
a
fucking with
minute.
me.
Can I pop this in? Hold on. Let me screen share real quick. I found a thing. And oh, oh. I don't know if this is gonna work. Hold on. I think I found something that like kind of shows how tall he is. I don't know if this is canon or not. I can't do it. But it says that Kaido is 5 meters tall.
Now, for an American nigga, how tall is 5 meters?
I don't know. Google it, bitch.
Oh, thank you.
No, I'm sorry. He's 6 meters tall. About.
I think that's a lie. I don't even know how tall exactly 6 meters is, but I just don't. Homie, look at page 8 through 9. Look at Orochi holding Momonosuke. He has him in his hand. He has him in his hand.
Justin's pissed.
How tall is anyone? Dog, I get it. I'm like, it takes so long to draw these pictures. But my nigga, can you give me something?
Here, let's see. What's 6 meters to feet? 6. Let's go meters to feet.
Homie, he not even drawn correctly back to back. The nigga grabs him, has his hand around his neck, and then his hand is around his whole fucking body.
All right. So this says 16 meters is 20 feet. So this fool's 20 feet tall.
Wait, 6 meters is 20 feet or 16?
6. One.
So 20 feet tall.
Yeah.
How tall is Orochi?
Big Orochi is not on this list, but size comparison, Luffy is, I don't know, 1.9 meters tall. And that means he is, oh, that can't be right. Let's try 1.8. Luffy's about 6 feet. Like he's average. He's average height, right? Big Mom is over 9 meters tall, and that, let's just say Big Mom's what, 10 meters? She's 32 feet tall. So why was Kaido bigger than her in that one panel chapters ago?
Homie, Orochi has his entire hand around Momonosuke. In the previous panel, his hand is only around his neck. I'm not trying to be this guy, but gosh damn it, I'm going to be this guy.
I'm going to look up how tall Orochi is. Let me see real quick.
Dog, what? How tall is anyone? How tall am I?
Let's see. Do we know yet? They have not revealed how tall Orochi is. I don't think it's because he hasn't stood next to anyone. We don't know.
Well, he's sitting next to Kaido.
Kaido's a little under 20 feet.
But he's taller than Big Mom. Sometimes the same height.
Sometimes they're the same height. So really, who gives a fuck?
Hey, man. I'm going to go more in depth on One Piece next week. I wanted to get some Avatar talk because it was just recently in my mind.
Yeah.
As always, anyone that's listening, don't forget Twitter, Hardfelt Network, @ITalkALot9080. I always forget Matt's Instagram name. Shadow
Riley.
Shadow Riley. There we go. I was like, are you still posting the gaming? Are you still posting the gaming on Shadow Charizard?
No, we're posting it on Dinosaur Workshop.
Okay. But you do your plugs, nigga. The fuck?
Dude, Dinosaur Workshop, YouTube.
There you go.
We got some cool things coming out this week.
There you go.
So that'll be fun.
There you go.
No, next week. Excuse me. Next week we should have something. I want to marry myself to that date. Give me time to make more content.
No, that's fair. Hey man, with that being said, don't forget, always go check out the socials, go check out his YouTube channel. Thank you everyone that's been listening, anyone that has listened, anyone that listened long enough just to say fuck you, y'all suck. Y'all don't even know Blackbeard is from a cold place. That was a bad episode. That was a big, we dropped the ball on that one. But it's okay. We get to improve. The one where we were discussing Blackbeard and we just completely we just didn't read or remember the fact where he was from, and we had a 30-minute convo.
Oh yeah, of like us going, oh my god, whoa, Blackbeard doesn't sleep.
Oh fuck! But it's okay, guys. We every now and again you drop the ball. It happens, but we get to improve. We get to be better people, and there is always a tomorrow. That's about all I got in regards to that one, man.
Right.
We'll get more into One Piece next week, as well as some Korra stuff. If not Korra next week, the following week. We out. Oh.